see.
A troubled teen commits a crime that will forever change his life.
He thought this world was going to be fair. Somebody didn't teach him right.
I was 16 years old. They sent me to Florida's most violent prison.
Fearing for his safety, he breaks out.
You can't expect to escape and not have to pay your price for doing it.
I thought I was going to die out there.
Whoa, you need to get out of my car.
He uses his charm to stay one step ahead of the law.
We're looking for one more.
Oh, yeah?
It is not surprising that he was able to get strangers to help him.
But his freewheeling new life could be his ultimate downfall. No criminal wants to go to prison, so some go on the run. This is the story of how one man almost got away with it. Summer 1979.
Nielsen,
Bloomington, California.
welcome back.
16-year-old Robert Wayne Nielsen is in juvenile hall again.
Through here. My stepfather became abusive when I was 6.
Enjoy your stay.
I started running away. Shoplifting, breaking in cars to sleep.
Even though Nielsen's mother left his stepfather when he was 13, it was too late for this rebellious teen.
I couldn't get out of the cycle that I had established.
When you get there, I want you to talk to Joan. She has something lined up for you in the kitchen.
Oh my God, Mom. I'm not gonna be a busboy on a cruise ship.
Listen, Bobby, this is a good opportunity for you.
Nielsen's mother refuses to give up on her son.
You're not going to get another...
All right.
And you promised me you were going to get on that boat.
I promise.
My mother used to work for the Carnival Cruise Lines in Miami. And through her connections, she had arranged for me to get a job. So I was supposed to report to this person for this job.
It's all going to work out.
He makes his way from California to Florida, but Nielsen never makes it onto the boat.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about it, too.
Instead, he stops to visit some old friends in Orlando and gets sidetracked.
I'm on my way to Miami. My mom got me this job. It's gonna be a lot of babes. How about you make some real money with us? Pushing some snow. Really? Yeah, really.
Nielsen blows off the job interview and spends the next several weeks dabbling in a life of
Any physical crimes against anybody. I was basically just sneaking around, trying to stay alive.
So did you get her number or not?
But on August 31st, 1979, Nielsen takes it one step too far.
There was nobody in the store. I looked over the counter in case the clerk had passed out or something. The cash drawer was open.
Yo, Kenny, keep an eye out.
Nielsen's criminal instincts immediately kick in.
Hey,
As I was pulling the money out of the drawer, the clerk came from around the corner.
stop! Stop!
I wasn't in there but a minute. It was just a spur of the moment thing, and if I could take it back, I would. I got $143 out of this theft.
The two friends make a quick getaway. But police paint a very different picture of what happened that night. Detectives claim that the two young teenagers entered the store intent on robbing it, with their faces partially hidden.
Give me the money in the register in the safe now. Open the safe.
I don't have the combination. I don't
Open the
have
register
the
now.
combination in the safe.
Basically, he held her at knife point and told her that I need you to open up the cash register.
Give me the money in the register then.
According to police, the suspects clean out the cash register. Then they cut the phone line and bolt out of the store.
Once you commit a felony with a weapon, the degree of the felony becomes higher.
Okay, call for backup.
Tell me what happened.
For Detective John Cessnat, this isn't a crime to be taken lightly.
And all of a sudden, they just come up to the register, and he pulls out a knife.
Well, you gotta imagine yourself at the other end of that knife. Fear sets in, you don't know what the guy's gonna do, you don't know what's gonna happen. He's capable of just cutting you for no reason at all. People get hurt.
He thought he was fooling me with that stocking thing over his face, but I could see right through that.
You know who this was?
The victim said that she knew who it was.
Take a look at these.
He frequented the neighborhood, he frequented that store.
No. That's him, all right.
Bobby Nelson.
Right away, he knows what kind of delinquent he's dealing with.
He had a previous record. He had stolen a motorcycle, got caught joyriding, so he was known on the street as being a pretty streetwise individual.
Cisnat is a well-respected cop in the area. The first thing he does is get in touch with his confidential informants, the other neighborhood kids.
They talked about robbing this liquor store over there by the roller rink.
I told the kids in the neighborhood area to keep an eye out for him. There was 2 outstanding warnings, one for armed robbery and one for committing a felony with a weapon.
No one's gonna know about this, right? Not me.
Waiting for the dust to settle. But after just 2 weeks, the amateur thief makes a critical mistake. He returns to Orlando, and Detective Cisnat's legwork pays off.
Yeah, I just saw him roll by here in an orange Camaro.
Soon after, Nielsen gets pulled over.
Dude, just chill. Be cool, man. Dude, afternoon, gentlemen. Can I see your ID?
I had a California driver's license. It was a legitimate driver's license, but just in a different name.
We weren't doing anything.
I looked straight at him. I knew who it was.
Can you step on out of the car?
He spoke my real name.
Nice try, Nelson. You're being booked on robbery. What are you talking about?
He booked me on robbery. I told him I didn't rob anybody.
With one too many strikes against him, the young teen is tried as an adult. His mother and sister come out from California to support him. During the trial, Nielsen maintains his innocence.
I didn't have a knife, and I didn't cut a phone cord.
Well, that's just not the truth. The other evidence has been presented.
And I believe this happened because she was negligent. So in order to preserve her job, she embellished what happened. And that changed it from a theft to a robbery.
But the jury doesn't buy his story. Nielsen is convicted of armed robbery and sentenced to 25 years in prison. His family is devastated.
It was like the world flipped upside down for our family. It was unbelievable. It was almost like a death.
It was $143.
His life, to me, was like, it's gone. How can somebody throw a young person in prison for that long? I don't understand it. The punishment did not fit the crime.
You can't do this to him!
He's got to be responsible for his actions, and he's going to jail for it. If he thought this world was going to be fair and his life was going to be fair, somebody didn't teach him right.
16-year-old Nielsen is shipped off to Sumter Correctional Institution, known for being one of Florida's most violent prisons.
I was very worried. How is he going to survive in an adult prison?
They had more killings, more rapes, more armed assaults, more riots than any other prison in the state of Florida.
Prison life wasn't easy. Him being a 16-year-old white person in a jail like that, he might not survive.
May 1980, Sumter Correctional Institution. 16-year-old Robert Nielsen has just arrived at one of Florida's most dangerous prisons.
I'm seeing people get stabbed. I'm seeing people get hit in the head. I've been stabbed. I've been hit in the head. I've been jumped. I don't even want to talk about it. It was ugly.
For the next several years, Nielsen's life is repeatedly threatened. He struggles to stay alive.
My brother is one of the most mentally strong people that I've ever met.
I see guys with just a few years end up killing somebody in here in self-defense and end up getting a life sentence for it. Rather than hurt somebody in here trying to survive, I took it upon myself to get out of there.
With his life in constant danger, he sets his mind on one goal: escape. The question is, how? 2 years later, Nielsen is transferred to Avon Park Correctional Institution, which houses both maximum and lower security inmates.
So there's a corner fence. We just wait till it's dark after dinner.
Here, a plan finally begins to take shape. He's recruited a fellow prisoner named Hippie. January 2nd, 1983, as Florida braces for one of the coldest winters on record. 19-year-old Nielsen realizes it's the perfect time to set his plan in motion.
Being that it was wintertime, it gets dark early. After we eat, we're allowed to wander until they clear the yard. We just started walking the track, which follows the perimeter fence around the prison. And our decision was that we were going to jump this fence in the corner of the prison.
That corner fence separates the high security section from the minimum security side.
Even though they have the same perimeter security on that side, they get to stay out longer because of their security level.
The two inmates have to work fast.
You just hit the fence.
Before scaling 2 more perimeter fences. This will be challenging. The perimeter fences are surrounded by barbed wire and gun towers.
I just got word 2 maximum security inmates climbed the fence into the minimum security yard.
As Nielsen and Hippie attempt to blend in with the minimum security inmates, they get some bad news.
I think we are too.
Hey, man. Get somebody sitting on that corner fence. We gotta shoot out to the guard.
Be on the lookout for 2 white males.
10-4.
If I was you, I wouldn't wait another minute. And I kind of took that as a cue. It was just a mad dash for freedom. Do or die.
By the time the inmates reach the perimeter fence, tower guards have spotted them. They unleash a barrage of gunfire.
My jacket had wrapped up in the barbed wire. I had to pull myself loose from the fence. Me thinking I got to get off that fence before I get shot off. So I tore myself loose and hit the ground. I don't remember touching the second fence. I was super determined to get away.
Nielsen and Hippie sprint into the massive wooded area that borders the prison.
The gun trucks came behind us. They started shooting into the woods. I could hear the buckshot hitting the leaves and the trees and everything around me.
The 2 prisoners run deep into the woods until the sound of gunfire subsides.
What the hell are we supposed to do now? I'm going in.
Nielsen has no idea that what lies ahead is 40 miles of swampland. For the next 3 days, temperatures continue to drop.
I need you to put that out to all the squad.
Frustrated law enforcement have lost the fugitives' trail. They no longer know if they're dead or alive.
I've never been so cold, and if I would have saw law enforcement out there, I would have flagged them down.
How big is this thing?
I thought I was gonna die out there.
Let's go!
I'm keeping the sun behind me so I can keep my direction. I'm trying to find my way out of the swamp.
Come on, man. You gotta keep going. Okay.
Finally back on dry land, they reach a clearing and spot a campsite.
Oh my God, food. Here, try to open these. Here. Oh, hurry up.
They luck out and even find some dry clothes.
Bring the chips.
I came out on the highway and I started hitchhiking. Got a ride to Vero Beach.
As soon as they hit the coast, Nielsen heads for the water.
I wanted to get in the salt water to get this mud out of my cuts.
As Nielsen soaks in his newfound freedom, Hippie wanders off to explore.
I think at that moment, I actually relaxed for the first time and felt that I was free.
I am not surprised that he was successful at escaping. When he sets his mind to something, he goes for it.
Nielsen's feeling refreshed and ready to move on.
So, Bobby, man, we gotta get out of here now.
I guess he went up in somebody's backyard and they called the police.
All right, Thompson, be cool, man, be cool.
We got company.
Gentlemen, you have their pockets.
Hippie is quickly busted for trespassing and placed in the cop car to be taken to the station.
I know my rights, man.
So the officer turned around to me and asked me if I wanted to go with him. And I said, go with him for what? He said, well, I know you're with him.
I just met him hitchhiking. He was already in the car when they picked me up.
Nielsen knows Hippie is done for. He will be too if he can't talk his way out of this.
Show me some ID. No, I was swimming in the ocean and I got mugged. So I took my stuff off the beach.
The officer agrees to let Nielsen go, under one condition.
We'll get your prints taken and we'll let you go.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
All right, you're done too.
They said they wanted my prints on file in case a crime occurred in their community.
Nielsen manages to stay calm.
Hey, officer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
But he knows that as soon as the police discover Hippie's a fugitive, they'll be back for him. He needs to put as much distance between himself and the beach as possible. But he doesn't get far. January 1983, Vero Beach, Florida. His accomplice has just been arrested, and he knows he'll be identified soon. But his escape comes to a screeching halt. The desperate fugitive decides to take a gamble.
Whoa. You need to get out of my car.
So I slammed the door and I said, look, I've escaped from prison. I need you to get me away from here.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need a ride, please. You put me in jail for 25 years. I was only 16.
He uses his charm to keep the driver calm.
And I'm telling her who I am. I told her my name. I told her the prison I escaped from.
What do you want me to do?
I just get me out of here. I'm just trying to get back to my mom.
This place is fixing to be surrounded by cops.
She decides to drive Nielsen back to her house.
I'm gonna go get my husband. I'll be right back.
So I'm like, I don't know how this is going to turn out.
For all Nielsen knows, she's inside calling police, but he's got nowhere to go. Then her husband walks out.
He asked me what was going on, and I told him.
Then how's this my problem?
It's not. I just took a chance. I don't know.
Nielsen's young age and harsh sentence play on the man's sympathies.
He's sorry, I'm gonna help you get away from here.
I can take you as far as Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect.
My brother's very charming and charismatic. It is not surprising that he was able to get strangers to help him along his escape.
Got any money?
Thank you. Wow.
Here, man. Take this in case you're out all night.
I don't know their names. I appreciate them. I thank them for helping me.
One thing's clear. Nielsen needs to get out of Florida, and there's only one place he wants to go. Home.
My plan was to go to California to see my mother and my sisters, because I hadn't seen them since I'd been incarcerated in Florida. That's all I've ever tried to do was just get home to my family.
We were so close, and family was very important. My mom would always tell us that blood was thicker than water.
Even though he knows it's risky, Nielsen decides to call his mother for help.
Whenever an individual escapes from a facility where he's been incarcerated, one of his first places he's going to go back to is home.
First, she didn't know if I'd been killed out there.
Mom,
But when she heard from me and knew that I was okay and that I got away, she was relieved.
I'll tell you more later. I'm gonna try and catch a bus back and...
She wanted me to get out of Florida because she was afraid.
Prince, he was her everything. I mean, he was her only son.
I love you too.
He just knew he could always depend on her.
Bye.
She was his mom.
Nielsen leaves Florida undetected. A week later, he arrives in Barstow, California. Although it's the first place authorities might look for him, he heads straight to his mom's house.
Yeah, no, it's a great place. You're gonna love it.
My brother walks through the door,
Great, I'll see you there. 9:30? Awesome, I can't wait.
and I dropped the phone when I turned around and saw his face. I could not believe that he was standing in front of me. Unbelievable.
What are you doing here? How'd you...
Don't worry about it.
How did you...
I cried. I just held him and hugged him. And then I also stepped back and asked, what's going on?
Did you escape? How are you here right now?
I got out.
Mom's gonna have a heart attack, you know that.
No, she won't. She'll be fine.
She'll be fine. You escaped prison. God. Oh my God, you're really here.
When she turned around and saw me, she lost it.
Oh my God, I missed this.
At that moment, when I saw my mother, I think that's when I actually felt that I was free.
Mom, you knew about this?
Everybody cried. It was a happy reunion.
If you would ever learn how to grill...
Despite the risk, Nielsen stays with his mother, who's been remarried for the past 4 years.
You know, the best thing is sitting around a table, sharing food with your family and friends, and that's what he was craving and missing. Felt like old times, like he wasn't even in prison.
I just gotta figure something out to make money. I don't want to sit here on the couch all day.
I could use a little help down this route. His stepfather offers him work at his plumbing business.
Awesome.
So the Golden Dragon restaurant, that one's gone.
Awesome.
Nielsen starts to relax and feels a sense of calm he's never felt before.
Law enforcement hadn't come around the house, and I was actually moving around freely. I wasn't trying to hide or anything. I wasn't committing any crimes. I just felt safe.
Hey, thanks again.
Got it.
See you home.
One evening, Elizabeth convinces her brother to go to a party with her. At first, he's hesitant.
I don't know about this.
Problem.
I feel kind of weird, you know?
God, I want you to meet Sharon. All my friends are really cool.
Nielsen knows meeting new people means there's a risk he'll be identified.
And here we have Sharon.
Hi.
He's immediately drawn to her.
It's good to have the baby brother out here.
She was 25, and she was pretty.
He lets down his guard and turns up the charm.
Right when I saw Robert, I was attracted to him. He was a very nice-looking man.
It's an instant connection, and the pair spend the night bearing their souls to one another.
He was telling me how he was climbing the fence, and the bullets were hitting the fence, and he could feel the fence vibrate, but he just kept climbing. Just like, wow.
How about I show you the rest of the house?
Sure. I felt sorry for him. I understood his situation. I thought he got an excessive amount of sentence for the crime that he was convicted of. It was a sad situation, and he was really a good guy.
The two become inseparable.
We had a romantic connection. I started to care for him. We got closer.
What's going on?
I feel like the cops are gonna show up at my parents' place like any day now.
I trusted her. She knew what my situation was.
You could always crash for me.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
So Sharon offered to let me stay there with her until I could figure out what I wanted to do.
It's not a moment too soon, but Florida authorities haven't forgotten about Nielsen. They've issued a nationwide fugitive warrant for his arrest.
Fugitive warrant is, we want this person, He is supposed to be in custody. He is no longer in custody.
Yes, we've got a warrant out for Nielsen. It's only a matter of time before we pick him up.
In San Bernardino, California, authorities are on high alert.
In Mr. Nielsen's case, it was an escape fugitive warrant. We take this seriously because they are not only more desperate, but a fugitive escapee is more likely to commit crimes to stay out of custody.
This guy's just a kid. It can't be that hard to catch him. Let's get on it right away.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, Nielsen claims his mother tries to help him stay free.
I came by the house and she said, I sent off for some ID for you.
Your new name is going to be Lonnie Dean Patterson. What do you think?
All right, let's check it out.
When I open the envelope up with the fake ID in it, I see immediately it's not going to pass any type of inspection.
Where did you get this from again?
From a magazine.
Nonetheless, he decides to keep the ID, hoping he'll never have to use it.
I'll go make you some lunch, okay?
Sounds good.
But on March 4th, 1983, all of Nielsen's fears are about to be played out.
I was sitting in the truck, and I saw some cop cars go by, and I got a feeling that something was about to happen.
This may be Nielsen's final moments as a free man.
Free!
19-year-old Robert Nielsen escaped from a Florida prison. He spent the last 2 months hiding in plain sight in Barstow, California. But the fugitive's luck has just run out.
Free! Out of the truck! Get out of the truck now!
Sheriff's deputy stood up right in front of the truck with a shotgun, and they came out of everywhere.
Relax.
The brash fugitive refuses to surrender.
Listen.
So I told them they had the wrong man,
You got the wrong guy.
Shut up, Nielsen.
and they called me by my real name, told me I was being arrested on the fugitive warrant.
Who is in charge here?
My name's Lonnie Patterson. You can check the ID. It's right there.
Yep, that's one of our IDs. Robert Nielsen, I have a fugitive warrant for your arrest.
According to Nielsen, the company that issued the fake ID was actually an undercover fugitive sting operation.
And they took me into custody.
What's going on? If you want to help me, come down to the station. Now, come on.
No way.
I knew it would happen. I knew that they would find him.
Shut up, Nielsen.
I was devastated.
Nielsen's mother and stepfather put up their house and possessions to cover his $50,000 bond and bail him out. His mother launches a campaign arguing that his original sentence of 25 years was overly harsh.
Overwhelming. I mean, this is unbelievable.
She got like 3,500 signatures. The news media got involved in it.
I got over 1,000 signatures for this petition. That's crazy. There's no way we can lose.
It was a $200 robbery, and I just thought that the punishment for the crime was so unfair.
Let me know if you need any help, okay? I'm here. Okay.
His mother also fights to block Nielsen's extradition back to Florida.
We were trying to fight for my brother to stay in California.
Hello?
But 2 weeks later,
What do you mean?
the governor of California signs the extradition warrant.
I need to speak to somebody. Who can I talk to?
Nielsen will be returned to Florida to serve out his sentence.
What's going on? They're sending him back to Florida. What?
The state of California has a duty to assist the state of Florida. We have to follow a judicial process which allows that person to be taken back to Florida to stand additional trial or to finish their sentence. It's the law.
Nielsen has 24 hours to turn himself into authorities. He decides to spend his last moments as a free man with Sharon.
I'm gonna be there at 10 tomorrow. This is our last night together, so.
I was heartbroken. I felt sad, I felt sad for him.
I'm thinking about what's ahead of me. I had to finish this 25 years, and then they probably give me 15 years for escape, running consecutive to the 25.
I've got cash.
Then I was gonna do whatever I could to help him.
Where would I go?
I was making a lot of money. I was selling drugs.
My family.
The more I thought about it, the more that I realized what I was facing when I returned.
Don't go back.
I just couldn't turn myself in. This was my first taste of freedom in a long time, and I wasn't ready to give it up.
But Nielsen knows this isn't just about him.
I got to thinking about the position my family was in. The bondsman made them sign over everything they owned. But I believed that if I took off, they couldn't just come and take everything from my family and put them out in the street.
That same night, the young couple silently slips away. Their plan is to hide out in Arizona, where Sharon's family lives.
I told him that he was my boyfriend, that we were planning on getting married sometime.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Cameron, your sister's here.
There's just one catch.
Sharon's brother was a police officer.
So glad to make it.
Cameron. Oh, nice to meet you. What's your name again? Lenny? Lonnie.
Nielsen's performance is flawless, and the whole family is smitten by the charming young man.
I'll tell you what, why don't you come out and patrol with me so you can see what it's like on the streets?
No way.
As long as you don't have a warrant out for your arrest.
Joker. Hey, who's ready for dessert?
Yeah.
All right.
But the reality is, this arrangement is not going to work for long. After just 2 weeks, Sharon heads back to San Bernardino. And Nielsen decides to settle down in Hollywood.
I thought Hollywood would be someplace where I wouldn't stand out. Because of the variety of people and their styles and everything. I just felt like I could blend in Hollywood.
Emotionally and financially.
I would travel back and forth between San Bernardino and Hollywood, and whenever I would leave San Bernardino, she would give me some money.
She sets him up in a one-bedroom apartment near Hollywood Boulevard and buys him a brand new motorcycle.
I wanted to help him because I loved him. I thought he was the one that we were going to be together forever. We were going to get married.
At the ripe age of 19, Nielsen is living the California dream.
I saw quite a few celebrities. I almost had an opportunity to go to the Playboy Mansion.
He almost forgets he's on the run, but not quite. He gets a new ID again, this time using more reliable sources. He keeps the name Lonnie, but changes his last name to Donovan.
I was just out there experiencing life.
Hey, we're looking for one more.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Baywatch by day, and I don't know what to say about the night.
Sure.
I wasn't committing no crimes other than, smoking pot. But I wasn't stealing, I wasn't robbing, I wasn't burglarizing.
Oh my God, you're totally scared.
I was loving life at this time.
Meanwhile, San Bernardino cops are keeping a close eye on Nielsen's drug dealer girlfriend. And they are about to up their game. Sharon's business often has people dropping by her house unexpectedly.
So I was just going to open the door. For some reason, I stopped and I looked through the peephole. And the cop was standing against the wall, I guess, thinking I couldn't see him. But my porch light reflected off his badge.
Sharon doesn't know if the cops are there for her or Robert.
This is the San Bernardino Police Department.
And they were banging on the door,
Either way, she's trapped.
And then all of a sudden, I seen flashlights going around every window.
I'd like to speak with you.
April 1983. Escaped convict Robert Nielsen has been enjoying his freedom for the past 3 months, thanks to his well-off drug-dealing girlfriend, Sharon. But authorities are now outside her door, and she has nowhere to run.
Mr. McCown would like to speak with you.
Sharon quickly hurries into the bathroom to hide.
I sat real quiet. They were banging on the back door. I thought they were... And then all of a sudden it started pouring rain. And then they left, and I thought, they're going to come back. I guess they were looking for him.
Despite the close encounter with authorities, Sharon remains committed to Nielsen.
I was in the same situation, so I totally could understand what he was going through. We were both trying to hide from the cops, basically, because they had me targeted too.
May 28th, 1983. It's Memorial Day weekend, and Nielsen is speeding down a narrow two-lane desert highway on his way to a music festival.
I was in a hurry, trying to get there, and I was passing cars on this motorcycle. At that time, I was doing about 85.
He passes a car on a blind curve, right into oncoming traffic.
I had about 2 seconds to make a decision. There was only one place to go, and that was up. So I jumped straight up in the air off the motorcycle.
His foot hits the nose of the car and flips him into the air.
My God. Are you okay?
When I regained consciousness, I was laying in the middle of the road. I guess I was in shock. I didn't feel any pain. But I knew that I had to get away from there. But they're telling me, man, you're hurt, you need to lay down. Stop moving, you're bleeding. So I raised my leg up and saw the injury. I said, well, I ain't going nowhere.
Nielsen suffers a shattered ankle and a broken clavicle and is taken to the nearest hospital for treatment.
What have we got? He's got a couple of lacerations on the face.
He checks in under his alias, Lonnie Donovan.
You need to go into surgery. I gotta go. No.
And asks to make a phone call before going into surgery.
Sharon, it's me.
I'm upset. I'm feeling terrible. Because you got hurt pretty bad.
Now look, we need to go into surgery now. Hang on. I love you. All right.
Lonnie, can you hear me?
When Nielsen wakes up in the recovery room, he knows he's on borrowed time.
I'm kind of antsy. I want to get out of there because I'm afraid that somebody is going to recognize me.
Mommy, I need you to lie down.
Or somebody's going to tell on me.
Relax.
But his injuries are so severe, the doctors won't release him yet. It pays him a visit. He's from the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department.
Someone called in indicating that he was a wanted subject.
Robert Wayne Nielsen?
One of our detectives saw him, identified him, and rearrested him for his outstanding warrants.
5 months after his escape from prison, Nielsen's run has come to an end.
When the detective had come in with the shackles, I knew it was over with. I knew somebody had given me up.
Mr. Nielsen, in this case, not only had to finish his time, but was charged again with additional charges of escape.
I knew it wasn't going to last. It had to come to an end. He couldn't keep running and running. And that they would eventually catch up to him. And they did. I thought this was really the end now. He's going away for a long time.
6 months later, Nielsen is extradited back to Florida.
I was feeling sad. I'm fixing to be returned to something that I didn't want to be returned to.
Like Nielsen feared, an additional 15 years are tacked on to his original sentence.
And I made a decision that if I ever walked again, that I would run again.
For the next 5 years, Nielsen tries to escape 7 more times.
After you get away with one escape, you think you can do it again. It just developed into a pattern.
Today, Nielsen is spending the remainder of his sentence at Dade Correctional Institution in Homestead, Florida. When he's released in 2018, he'll be 57 years old.
I'm going to end up spending 40 years here, and I've never hurt anybody in my life, in prison or out of prison. All I've ever wanted is just to have a normal life. And hopefully, I'll have one when this ends. If I knew then what I know now, I would have lived an entirely different life.